Hello folks, welcome back to GP Reactions. My name is Gal, this is my channel and I like to listen to a little bit of music when I'm not working ridiculous hours per day. So the last couple of weeks I've been doing about 11 hours a day, which is why I haven't done any reactions because I've just been fagged out. And it's just great to be sitting down. I've had a couple of days off. We get an extended bank holiday at work, but I've still been really busy sorting stuff out and that. Anyway, it's good to be back and it's great to be here. And a big thank you to everybody that has subscribed, donated to buy me a coffee, suggested music to listen to, of which I'm going to get around to making another big list pretty soon. And yeah, just commenting on songs and stuff because comments to me are everything because they tell me a story about, what you experienced when you heard stuff. You might have knowledge about music, which it's just sometimes it just blows my mind. Um, so I have heard this track that I'm about to react to, and I heard it back in, I think probably back in '76, and I also reacted to the original version of this, Bruce Springsteen, recently. So I'm very familiar with this track. However, one thing kind of jumped out at me and it wasn't on my reaction, and I think it was somebody else that was reacting to a version, the Manfred Mann's version. And by the way, this is Manfred Mann's Blinded by the Light, Manfred Mann's Earth Band, I should say, the next carnation of band. So this is Blinded by the Light, but somebody mentioned that there was a long version to this, which was like an extended from the original album version, I suppose, but that they only ever play the radio version, which is in itself I think, is about 5 minutes long. So I'm actually really excited to actually hear the bits of this song I've never heard before. And yeah, so in the band we have Chris Hamlet Thompson on lead vocals. We have Manfred Mann on keyboards, and he also apparently sings the last verse on this song, which I never knew that. I always thought it was just one singer. We have Dave Flett on lead guitar, Colin Petterdon on bass, and Chris Slade on drums. This is track 1 on their album, The Roaring Silence, from 1976. I'm not sure how well this did in the UK Top 40, but I think it did pretty well. It was around a long time. Actually, I think came out around about this time, end of August maybe, in '76. So I just remember it being a really cool sound, when you're in the car with your dad and your parents, and you going somewhere on a trip and something like this plays. It's just a really cool sound. It kind of summed up how I felt about the summer, blinded by the light. But I've never heard this long version before, so. I'm sorry to go to stop it so soon, but it feels like prelude to like a religious experience when you hear that kind of organ coming in at the beginning. It 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 feels like you should be in church or something. And I just wonder. Okay. Here's another thing. I'm going to rewind this and start again. I just wonder whether this has ever been played in church. Blinded by the light. I mean, apart from all the little intricacies of the lyrics. I just wonder if this is, a hook that has ever been played. I don't know. You tell me. Anybody out there who goes to church?
Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Blinded by the light, wrapped up
These vocals there, the harmonies.
madman drums, bombers, Indians in the summer with a teenage diplomat. In the dumps with the mumps as the adolescent bumps his way into his hair.
got to say, this version, I mean, I know an original is an original, and that has to be respected for the creativity that's put in to actually create the lyrics and the melodies the first time around. But this is, I'm sorry, Bruce, but this is much better than that version. And albeit, to be kind to Bruce Springsteen, I think that was his debut album. Um, but man, this is good. This sounds really good. I wonder if, like, when Manfred Mann heard this in, was it 1973 it came out? I wonder if when they heard this 1973 they thought, hmm, I wonder what we can do with that 3 years later. I wonder if they sort of started working on that straight away, or whether it was just like, remember that song we heard in 73? But you do think about these things, especially when it's a cover of something, and just the amazing that guitar then, and the ascending keys to it does have that kind of feel about it. It's like the mundane meets the spiritual, euphoria of, I don't know, of a summer's day, maybe. I don't know. Crazy. Very dreamy.
Some silicone sister with the manager, mister, told me I got what it takes. She said I'll turn you on, son, into something strong. Play the song with the funky break. And go-kart Mozart was checking out the weather chart to see if it was safe outside. And little early birdie came by in his curly-whirly and asked me if I needed a ride. Another runner in the night, blinded by the light. She got down, but she never got tight. She's gonna make it to the night.
So this is new to
She's
me.
gonna make it through.
Here for it. Okay. That's amazing.
Mama always told me not to look into the eyes of the sun. seduction of the runner in the night, blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night, blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night, in the dark through the months as the adolescent pumps his way to his night, with a boulder on my shoulder, feeling kinda older, I trap the merry-go-round, with his variant pleasing, sneezing and wheezing, life be crashed to the ground. Now Scott with a slingshot blindly found a tender spot, rolled over in the sand. And some bloodshot forget-me-nots and daddies within earshot, take the buckshot, turn up the band. Some cynical sister with the manager, mister, told me I got what it takes. She said, I'll turn you on, sonny, to something strong. She got down, but she never got tight. She's gonna make it through the night.
Man, that was epic. That was really, really epic. And I loved that guitar. I mean, it was like a guitar break, but I loved how, yeah, that was just kind of, that was crazy in the middle. But it was nice. It was kind of, it was sort of abrupt when that section came in, but I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the build up back into the song as well. And do you know what? One thing I forgot about this song is that, and I always claim that, yeah, this is one I know, but um, blinded by the light, but the bit I completely forgot about was the end bit where um, I think that I don't know if that was Manfred Mann and Chris Hamlet singing together over each other, but I completely forgot about that bit. And if it was two singers, that was fantastic. Oh, it just, you know what? It just gets me right there because it's so nostalgic. And for anyone who remembers the summer of '76, you always remember the music. Um, some of it was a bit cheesy, but this was an absolute classic. This was a monster of a track that year. Um, and there was other big tracks as well that, you know, people really sort of like took to. Um, yeah, this is just amazing. Um, and that like I said, it was well worth listening to this version as well because I'd never heard this before. It's just the guitar was just incredible. It's just to even go back and because I'm not even sure where it came in.
Another runner in the night, make it to the night.
Yeah, it's kind of
She's
like
gonna make it through the night.
well, it's kind of felt a little bit Pink Floydish at that moment. The guitar really built in this as well, which you just kind of like draws you in. It's the bass holding everything together. I like the added sort of quite understated vocals pushed somewhere to the back, but it acts as I love it when vocals are very sort of distant and not barely audible, but just or less audible than they would normally be because it kind of acts as another instrument then. Really complemented the guitar. To be honest, this bit reminds me of the film Big. drums are really heavy on this. They kind of really hit like a sledgehammer. Kind of give you that kind of just a feeling of like gravity to the song. Um, but the lyrics are so light. I mean, obviously it's written by Bruce Springsteen, and you kind of think of Jungle Land and I think Backstreets and Born to Run, and so you kind of know that when Bruce Springsteen's probably a little bit edgier, but this feels kind of like really floaty. It's like you're walking around the streets, you meet all these wonderful characters, and it just feels very warm and friendly. And but the music kind of here kind of feels like quite, yeah, it's quite deep. It's sort of laden with weight. I'm not sure if that even means anything.
Another runner in the
It
night,
is a bit hard to love.
blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche. Another runner in the night, blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche. Another runner in the night, with a boulder on my shoulder, feeling kinda older. I trapped a merry-go-round with his very unpleasing sneezing and wheezing. She said, I'll tell you what, sonny, just something's She got down, but she never got touch. It's gonna make it through the night.
I love that end bit as well. Do you know what? That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed that. And I think although it felt strange because of the middle bit, I think it's one of those longer version, the album versions, that will massively grow on me because, for I don't know how long's it been, 49 years or something like that. Um, and I've never heard a version other than the radio version, which I thought was the version. Easily one of the best songs ever. Nonsensical lyrics, yeah, but they were cool. And um, yeah, I mean, I do agree with that, and I think I wonder what Bruce Springsteen thought of this. So somebody said Bruce Springsteen might have written it, but Manfred Mann's Earth Band mastered it, and I can't disagree with that. They've turned it into a masterpiece, I think. Sometimes that happens with songs, and the originator of a song, just needs to kind of just sit back and say, thank you for the royalties, but what you've done to my song is amazing. And yeah, it's just I mean, I was about 9 years old when I first heard it, and it's still got that same nostalgic feeling for me. But it's still a great track too. I mean, I can get nostalgic over stupid records, but this is a great track, and it's got nostalgic connotations as well. So amazing. Tell me what you think of this. Let me know in the comments what you think of this longer version from the album The Roaring Silence. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this because I found it great, and maybe if you had this album back in the day and you was screaming at the radio saying play the long version, play the proper version. Yeah, just join us in the comments because I just want to hear your thoughts on this. And till next time, take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic week.